have a good time. Happy holidays, we hope you have a great time. Let's celebrate these good times, memories of a lifetime. Hear the bells jingle, it's Christmas time on the islands. The season's far from silent, everybody's smiling. Take a look around the island, mistletoes and jelly rolls, eggnog and alcohol. Let's have a good time, just don't get out of line. Sip some wine with some family and friends. Next year, same plan, we're gonna do it again. Merry Christmas to you. Let's have a good time, let's have a good time. Christmas to you. Let's have a good time, let's have a good time. Christmas to you.
Merry
Let's have
Christmas.
a good time.
I didn't want no new variant for Christmas, though. That's for sure. Good morning, The Link, Pacific Point, Cabo Enterprises, ITD, and Jack in the Box. That's the late Savage K with Merry Christmas. Yep, Christmas time. December 1st, raining cats a good long as I call it Chamorro Snow. You know what I mean? Chamorro Snow. Good morning, Dr. Hoa Nguyen joins us in the KUAM News Link Zoom room. How are you, Doc?
Oh, very good. Yeah, I like this Chamorro Snow.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer than the regular snow.
Yes.
Okay, so good morning. Let's just get right into it. You know, with this news about the Omicron variant, it's really reminding me of when we started hearing news about the Delta variant. And so we all saw what the Delta variant did. I mean, just ran through our island. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of people during that surge that we're now, I think safe to say we're kind of winding out of it. But Doc, when you read this news about the Omicron variant, like how concerned are you?
So right now, the Omicron is basically a variant of concern. We don't know much about it yet. We know that for sure that it's very infectious, more than Delta, as we see in the case in Africa, South Africa. So, but the question is that more severe or not? That's no one know. And does it response to the vaccine that we currently have, the Pfizer, Moderna, and the J&J? That we don't know neither. I think it's going to take another 7 weeks, 3-4 weeks or so for us to find out. South Africa is somewhat a unique country. The population is very young. I think the average age is about 27, 28 or so. So just like in Guam, the young people that have very mild symptoms. But again, the question is if it gets to the elderly or people on comorbidity, what does it do? What does it do? Is that going to be severe or mild? Or we don't know. So I think it's something that, like I said, we identify. We kind of watch and learn, but I don't think the people should panic. I think the media play a big part of it. But at this point, we should be just watch and listen and see does the death rate go up or not in other countries that already have the Omicron. So we just have to watch.
Yeah, Doc, in New York, the mayor of New York, we just played a story. He's asking residents there to start using the masks indoors again. So we're seeing that they're taking little steps. Obviously, some countries have taken some big steps with some of the restrictions. But here on Guam, do you think that we should be, well, the first one people say is reinstitute some kind of quarantine. Like, do you think we should be doing anything in preparation of this?
No, we know. Number one is a variance of concern, and we are supposed to be, fully vaccinated at 90% already. There's no reason why we should be under any kind of quarantine or place anyone in a quarantine traveling in. So I think we should be doing the same thing we do right now, but not to reinstate the quarantine hotel. No, we should not do that. Not at 90%. It really doesn't make any sense, and it's really it's a poor decision we do.
What are you seeing at the clinic level, Doc?
Actually, the Delta are winning off. So at the clinic level, so far we have several days now that is 0 positive. So we are doing very well. The Delta, like as expected, it burned out a little bit longer than we want, but it's finally burned out. So now we're going to have the Delta in our community somewhat. It's going to stay there for a while. And the only thing that we should be concerned about is that we should really do a lot of campaign on the booster because people immunity for the neutralizing antibody from the vaccine are weaning off after about 4.5 to 6 months, and we should become more concerned on the surge do the people immune system that weaning off at this point rather than the Omicron at this point, because we really had to push out the booster really quick before the holiday.
When you look at the rate of the boosters being given out, Doc, and you say that we should be having a campaign, does that we should take that to mean that you're not happy with the progress?
Yeah. I think that we don't have much campaign out there to educate people on why they need to boost them. And every day in the clinic, we have to sit down and basically educate our patient on why they need it. Because I still have a lot of people, that will say, "Do you have your booster yet?" Saying, "No, not yet." Do we need it? And when you explain to them why, then we schedule them to have the booster. So people still think that they're fully vaccinated, fully protected, even though they have the shot back in January, February. So we really need to put the reason why you need it out there in multiple ways in the media, just so that way people know better. We can't assume that, hey, you just open a clinic somewhere in the village and everywhere that people will come out and get the booster. You have to kind of explain to them why. And again, people in Guam are very good, and if they understand, they will come out and get the booster. But we just you just open the clinic and you don't explain why people won't show up.
Have you heard anything, Doc, just from your colleagues about the possibility of changing the restrictions in terms of separating the vaccinated from unvaccinated, letting people who are unvaccinated go to the gym, people who are unvaccinated eating indoors?
Yeah, so what I heard about is that and talked to the physician is that they, as our CAR score, we still found the CAR score below, 3 for a week or two, that those restrictions possibly go away, for the holiday. Again, we are at 90% plus. The booster are coming up slowly, but it's coming. Those restrictions will go away. There's no reason not to. So I think that the governor contemplate on remove this restriction if we continue the CAR score to be low for the holiday. So right now, we are 0.8 or something. So I do not think that it's going to come up on any case unless we have a lot of gathering during the holiday and people are dropping their guards, that we might see something coming up. But I think people know enough already. I keep my finger crossed that they wear masks. Wish in New York that's a very good advice, and that would stop the spreading.
So what's your advice for the holidays, Doc? Because you're talking about, are we going to have big gatherings? Well, yeah, we are, because we're wide open and people are pent up. They're ready to party.
Yeah, I think that number one is get out and get your booster. Much about the Omicron, but still, again, the Delta still in the community. Get your booster so that way you kind of decrease your risk of getting infection during the holiday. Wear your mask and ask people that come to your party, if you're sick, please stay away. That's a very simple question to ask. I don't think no one will get insulted if you ask them. Wash your hand, and that's all you can do. And again, the mask is very effective. So I think that in Guam, mandatory mask use will not go away for a long, long time.
Doc, did you guys ever get your any your payments, your reimbursements.
You ever get that money?
Yeah, because the governor did roll out her plan, and I wasn't sure if I saw anything there for
The tier 1 and 2 clinics. So what we're talking
Yeah.
about here is the tier 1 and 2 clinics. They were basically, remember when the governor, this is way back right at the beginning of the pandemic, I think she said, oh, I can take over your clinic and
yeah.
all this stuff. And so anyway, that's kind of what she did, was she deputized the tier 1 and tier 2 clinics. And basically it was like, hey, people go there, get tested, go get this or that. And the clinics absorb the cost, and then they would later be reimbursed. But where are we with those reimbursements, Doc?
Yeah, we again, we have the initial grant of 250,000 back sometime last year. But that's it. We have not received any reimbursement for sick visit or any type of testing yet. Not yet since March of 2020. We have one-time payment of 20,000 for testing back in August of 2020, but since then, there's a lot of promise in order to pay, but so far, none of the clinic have received anything yet.
What is the estimated balance on your books as far as reimbursement goes?
Yeah, I think it's quite large. It's probably anywhere, depend on different clinic. Guys, I mean, SDA and FHP and AMC have totally different way to run the business, how to see the patient or how to change the clinic in order to protect the patient and see the amount of walk-in. So it's anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5 million, somewhere there. But again, despite not getting paid, we will continue to see and serve the people who are gone and not collect anything, because if we don't do that, GMH and GRMC will get overwhelmed very quick, and the public health system will not be able to do that. So as part of tier 2, we will continue to do that. Money can come later. It's not important at this point during the pandemic.
So have you guys gotten anything in writing that you guys are going to get something paid or?
It's on the Pandemic Emergency Act on the thing, but that they're supposed to reimburse us. But again, we hope to work that issue out. I know the governor intended to reimburse, but the question is when.
The question is when. Boy, a lot of people asking that question, Doc.
But during the holiday, guys, really, we need to get the booster out really quick. I see that public health put a lot of village clinic together from, I think, 2:30 to 6 p.m., which is very good for people to go to. So I encourage people to go. Again, if you have the vaccine more than 6 months, or if you have your comorbidity that's 4.5 months out of your second dose, you really need to go in, because your neutralizing antibody are really, really coming down a whole lot. So you need to get back to the 90% level of effectiveness in order for you to enjoy your holiday without being sick. So I encourage people to do that. Okay, so go out and get your booster.
Thank you, Doc. Anything else in closing? Any health tips? Anything you're seeing at the clinic that we need to know about?
Practice your 3W. Don't let your guard down. Okay, and we all will enjoy our holiday if we can all do that. So, do your 3W. If you're sick, stay home. Please stay home and do not go to any function. I think that's part of every individual responsibility. So let's go through this together on the holiday, and hopefully we don't have any surge in December. And with the Omicron, we just have to listen and learn from people around us. But I would not panic. I would not do anything at this point. I think that the next 3 weeks we will learn a lot more, especially if it's effectiveness on our vaccine, regarding Omicron or not. So we're going to learn more.
Doc, is there any info? Because we had a comment here. Will minors be able to get the booster soon? My high schooler will be 6 months from his vaccine this month.
Yeah, so anyone under 18, the vaccine, both Pfizer and Moderna have not been approved for any booster on anyone under 18. So only 18 and above. And I know the CDC just now raise the level of the booster, but I do not think that they're going to be making that mandatory, because that's so people don't have the concern. I hear that every day because they really have to change the definition of fully vaccinated. That's very hard to change.
Thank you, Doc. So don't panic. That's good, because I'm all out of panic already.
Yeah, so it's no, I would not panic. Not this
My
point.
panic score is like lower than the car score. It's -5. Thank you, Doc.
You're welcome. Have
All
a good
right.
day,
You
guys.
too. You too. Right on. And Dr. Hoa Nguyen. Good morning. It's 7:19. First day of December. Wow, it is like yuck out there. Huh?
Yeah, it looks bad.
It's bad. So there you go. Bree, you know.
No, I don't.
You do, though. You know about our people who have been financially impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic.